So here's the thing about all this that's going down, guys. When the underworld and divinity were at war, the objective that the underworld would have is to have people lose hope, lose faith in God, in divinity, in the universe. So they did all sorts of things to make themselves appear like, I'm your only way out. Was it deceptive? Yes, Seven of Swords, it was deceptive. But they had to survive because humanity was their last link to their source of energy. They had been disconnected from divinity. So now everything that they've built will be destroyed. There will be a lot of healing, but there will be so much things revealed. I think you guys need to brace yourselves for waves of... I feel like a lot of people might get a little depressed because they're going to realize just how dark the world is. But it's not that the world is dark, it's that these people have allowed themselves to be swept up by their greed, by their lust, by their desires. And those who remained loyal and showed allegiance to divinity will reconcile. Not only amongst the spiritual world, but in the physical world as well. So with the Hierophant here, this is the main one, right? I don't know that I would call this God, although that is a big part of it, but yeah, let's call it God for now. They will receive divine forgiveness. Everybody who once had an impact on human life, Martin Luther King Jr., Hitler, everybody who once had a huge impact on humanity is coming back. And not only will the past lives be taken into consideration, but who they are now will be taken into consideration. Some will obtain divine forgiveness. They will obtain friendship and favor of the great. They will secure the promise of being restored to their original place. And others will not. Those who submit to the higher order will receive divine forgiveness. And those who don't will be identified and destroyed. So it's a pretty intense topic. Let's see how everybody reacts to it. Because honestly, if you're on this wavelength, you're not just here to hear about love stories, hopefully. If you are, just click off, because this is going to get real dark and real deep just now. Clarified Ten of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Six of Cups, Two of Cups, Queen of Swords. Oh. With the Eight of Wands. Remember the reading we did yesterday about an organization being built? This is part of it. This Queen of Swords, remember that they received the authority, right, to be merging. Well, no, that's not what came up yesterday. Yesterday, it just showed that they had friends in high and low places. Here, it's telling us this person has received the authority to give out divine forgiveness or to destroy an enemy. That's why they're bringing together both groups. They're uniting the divine realms with the underworld. They're connecting them again. Once they were connected, then they fell apart. Now they're reconnecting. I have a feeling this Queen of Swords has an interesting slew of past lives. Because they show up with Six of Cups, which means they have a history. They have a history. I don't know what their history is like because it's not telling me that yet. But I imagine their history was as some sort of divine warrior for them to now be receiving this role. It means that they have a history of showing obedience, of showing loyalty, allegiance. Clarify Seven of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Page of Cups and the Moon. The Four of Pentacles. Interesting. So, what it will come down to is that a lot of these entities from the left-hand path have made a lot of people wealthy. They've made a lot of people powerful. But at what cost? Because honestly, it's not even the fault of these entities. It comes down to a human's integrity. People will say, oh, well, they were desperate. Desperate for what, though? A lot of people have lived in poverty and maintained their integrity. It's whether you're willing to sell your soul to receive wealth, willing to sell out the people around you to receive power. That's when it starts counting against you. And this says, returns items and punishes thieves, reveals hidden treasures. So all the things that these entities have given will be taken back. These people won't be able to keep them anymore. People who once upon a time looked like, oh yeah, this is somebody who's so wealthy, like they have the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to gold. No, it wasn't because they had the Midas touch. It's because they wanted the easy way. Because, you know, there's people who have built wealth through the hard work, through doing all of the difficult things it takes to build an empire. And there's people who didn't want to put in all that work. There's people who thought, well, I can sell my soul because I want to give my family a better future. My children a better future. But again, at what cost? Would their children have approved of them doing that? Would their children say, yes, I would rather you sell your soul than me being poor and destitute? They became greedy. Well, it's not focusing. You can see the Bridezilla. Clarify Four of Swords. Three of Wands. Seven of Swords. The Devil. With the Tower. See, in this tower, and I put it further away because when I get close to camera, it doesn't zoom in on it. This tower shows staircases going nowhere. It's like very chaotic. Some are upside down, some are here, but they're all going into a wall, or it's not going anywhere. I think that these are people who felt cornered, people who felt trapped. But at the end of the day, what we do when we are cornered What we do when we do feel trapped says a lot about us. Survival mode is very primal, but not everybody will do the same thing. For example, some people I watched a movie the other day, and it was a Korean drama, but it was about sailors who had gotten lost at sea. 4 left and only 3 came back. And as they started investigating, they realized that the 3 had eaten the other person to be able to survive. In the name of survival, they did something horrific. They did something that haunted them, something that wouldn't let them sleep at night. That's the problem. Some people claim they had no choice, but it's because they believe that their time is very limited when it's not. They bury hope. They bury any hope of reflection. Like, nope, don't want to think about that. I have to think about my very primal future. And they become the puppet to entities from the underworld that were just seeking a soul to consume. So this is kind of like, it's like firing somebody that you know has important information about your accounts or things like that. You can't just go eliminate that person just because they have that knowledge. It's what they do with it that will later have to, whether you make a move or not, right? So just because entities exist that can do these things doesn't mean they should be eliminated. It's who goes to them and asks them for that type of assistance. Clarify Page of Pentacles. 4 of Swords. The Emperor. Clarify Page of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. And I'm saying that because demons, they don't feed off of the same energy that an angel will. Angels feed off of divine source, right? A demon, because they are cut off from divine source, they have to find other sources of energy. And because they are part of the underworld, they feed on things like fear, paranoia, guilt, shame. So what does that say? If you make a pact with a demon, and that demon tells you, well, I need you to generate a lot of fear. I need you to generate a lot of guilt, shame. What do you think this person is going to do? You think this person is going to do commendable things? You think this person is going to do inspirational things? No. And with the 4 of Swords, those who showed loyalty and allegiance, those who preferred to die, those who were like, I'd rather die than do things like this, those will be the people showing up on behalf of divinity, receiving reconciliation, receiving favor. Because they believed that this wasn't all, that there was more, and that they'd rather contain, or not contain, they'd rather sustain the integrity of their soul. They were brave, because that's what it takes. It takes bravery, it takes courage to not do horrific things. Because some people, they might have been held at gunpoint. You either and this is going to get really dark, but imagine a man being held at gunpoint saying, you have to rape this person or we'll kill you. What would you rather do? You have to betray the person you love. You have to stab them or we'll stab you. And then we'll stab them anyways. And someone's like, well, see, they were going to die anyways. Yes, but at whose hand? There's so many things here at play. And I don't mean to get really dark, but I'm trying to explain how people can lose faith. They can lose hope because they believe that this is all there is, and it's not. Just a simple science lesson. We are energy. Souls are energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. So if we cannot be destroyed, if our soul cannot be destroyed, that means that even if our physical body dies, we remain. We just move on to something else. So whatever they put into it is what they're going to get out. It's a very fair, it's the Six of Pentacles. It's going to be a fair judgment. Clarify Hierophant. Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Eight of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. With the Five of Wands. The problem is that to be able to cope with some of the things that they did, some people are just like, you know what? I'm just going to learn to enjoy it. They're asking me to rape people. I'm just going to start learning to enjoy rape. They're asking me to terrify people. I'm just going to enjoy being somebody who terrifies people. I'm going to enjoy being a monster. And that was their ultimate fall. Because they were thinking in a very, very 3D way. They stopped, almost like they stopped believing in divinity. Without realizing that Earth is a school. What you do here is how you're graded. You will be presented with tests, but how much work did it take you to avoid it? Or did you just say, okay, well, that's all she wrote. This is just how life goes. It's what we're supposed to do if we want to grow. Clarify Nine of Pentacles. The Lovers. Clarify Nine of Pentacles. Ten of Wands. And the Seven of Cups reversed, yeah. The King of Wands. So, everything before that was not revealed, the masks are falling off. People who joined hands with entities that they should not have been, joining hands with. And this goes twofold. Actually, this goes threefold. This is making me think of the post I made the other day about judgment being called on 3 different groups. Judgment, again, it's stronger now. This is for people who went and served entities that were not linked with God. It's also for people who just stopped believing in God altogether. They might not have served entities, but they were not part of faith being restored in God. And this is also for the people who represent